but on good governance and the rule of law, where people will have the opportunity to realize their full potential for sustainable development. Indeed, the collective commitment of our respective member states to ECOWAS objective has carved a niche for the organization. It has also earned ECOWAS international recognition for not only facilitating political stability, but also contributing significantly to peace and security in the region. Permit me to emphasize that security in the region is the focal point. And we must achieve this regardless of other commitments. This is why the region, as far back as 2001, recognized democracy as the only form of governance capable of fostering development, inclusiveness, and social well-being of our people. It was on this basis that the West African region became the first to take part in the continent to fully embrace democratization by establishing a comprehensive framework with legal protocols that emphasize respect for democracy, good governance, human rights, and rule of law. Allow me to emphasize that to further strengthen our regional democratic achievements and uphold the rights of our people to elect the leaders of their choice, the region agreed upon specific measures to be taken against any member state opting for unconstitutional change of government. While the imposition of punitive sanctions may pose challenges, it is important to underscore that the struggle to protect the fundamental liberties of our community, citizens, must be upheld and respected. To this end, I would like to reiterate the imperative of the regions to continue to re-engage under the military rule and basis of realistic and short transition plan that can deliver democracy and good governance. No alternative. On our part, we should be prepared to provide them with technical and material support to ensure the achievement of these strategic goals. Let me also underscore the need for us as leaders to prioritize good governance for our people, as it serves as a catalyst for socio-economic transformation and development. The delivery of good governance is not just a fundamental commitment, it's also an avenue to address the concerns of our citizens, such as improved quality of life and a stable environment conducive to the achievement of sustainable development. By providing good governance that tackles the challenges of poverty, inequality, and other concerns of the people, we will have succeeded in addressing some of the root causes of military intervention in civilian process in our region. Excellencies, head of states, government, distinguished guests, it is important that we also review some development in our sub-region, including the move by some of our members under military rule to float an alliance of Sahel states. The Phantom Pushback Alliance appears intended to divert our attention from our mutual belief for democracy and good governance that will impact the life of our people. We refuse to be detracted from pursuing the collective dreams, aspirations, and the noble path of ECOWAS integration as it is laid out in our institutional and legal frameworks. I take this opportunity to also emphasize that despite the numerous challenges facing our region, ECOWAS has achieved significant milestones for the betterment of our community citizens. ECOWAS activities have always been people-oriented with a view to raising the living standard of our people. We have to do that through good governance. ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, ETLS, we have also witnessed the rapid humanitarian intervention to assist communities affected by armed conflict or natural disasters. In this regard, I wish to call for the increased support in the area of humanitarian assistance through multilateral and bilateral means, as well as through public-spirited individuals, as ECOWAS, as an organization, cannot do this alone. Notwithstanding this notable achievement, a significant portion of our people continue to face the challenge of poverty and widespread unemployment. There is therefore need for us to harness the potential of our rich natural and human resources, diverse agricultural sector, and burgeoning youthful population for the prosperity of our people. Indeed, the collective market of ECOWAS member states represent huge opportunity for trade and investment to unlock the region's full economic potential. Your Excellencies, Head of State and Government, distinguished guests, I would also like to seize this opportunity to commend and extend my heartfelt congratulations to the people of the Republic of Liberia for the successful conduct of the presidential election, widely adjudged to be free, fair, and credible. Let me also commend my brother and colleague, His Excellency George Weah, for his exceptional leadership and conduct throughout the electoral process. By conceding defeat and congratulating his opponent, President Weah has left a legacy to be emulated by politicians in our region and beyond. I'm glad President Jonathan, former President Jonathan, is also present. I express gratitude for his significant contribution to the organization and wish him the very best in all future endeavors. On the recent disturbances in Syria alone and Guinea-Bissau, we must pay attention to protect the institution and protect democracy. I wish to underscore the fact that we stand against unconstitutional change of government in our sub-region. and we will continue to do so. I therefore urge all of us to stand strong and highly committed in the face of any challenge in Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau. The message must go down clearly that we will support a democratically elected government, not unconstitutional exercise without let of hindrance. Democracy must win if we fight for it. And we will definitely fight for democracy. Your Excellencies, during this 64th ordinary session, we will consider, as always, several issues, reports, and memoranda affecting critical areas and agenda of the community. I urge us to carefully consider the issue to be presented to us and make concrete and far-reaching decisions for the benefit of our community. Once again, the re-elected president of Sierra Leone is present here. We are saying loud and clear that we are with you. And as I conclude, I thank you all for coming to this summit. I wish all of us a successful and fruitful deliberations, as well as a pleasant stay in ABUJA. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.
We thank His Excellency, the Chair of the Authority, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his warm welcome. É com muito prazer que eu convido agora Sua Excelência Dr. Leonardo Santos Simão, representante especial do Secretário-Geral das Nações Unidas para a África Ocidental e o Sahel, a pronunciar a sua declaração. Obrigada.
Muito obrigada, Senhora Mestre de Cerimônias. Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairperson of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS Member States, Your Excellency Ambassador Bankole, Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the African Union, in representation of the President of the African Union, Your Excellency Omar Aliou Touré, President of ECOWAS Commission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to take part in this 54th ordinary session of the authorities of heads of state and government of ECOWAS. It is also my pleasure to convey warm greetings from the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, who follows developments in the sub-region with great interest. Since your last ordinary session held in Bissau in July, the situation in Niger arguably remains the most concerning political security development, which has impacted peace and security in the Sahel with implications for the entire region. The standoff between the military leaders in Niger and several partners, particularly ECOWAS, have significantly increased the challenges facing the populations of the country. This at a time when MINUSMA is withdrawing from Mali, by the end of this month, adding to the volatile security situation in the entire region. The developments also portend an uncertain future for the return of constitutional rule in all countries of our region currently undergoing political transitions. In this very challenging context, the agencies, programs, and funds of the United Nations system have continued to put utmost efforts to deliver to a growing population in need. United Nations country teams on the ground are adjusting to continue to be able to stay and deliver. For example, in Burkina Faso, a United Nations Interim Development Action Plan was developed. However, our colleagues are facing important challenges. Life-saving humanitarian work is increasingly difficult due to shrinking humanitarian space and access challenges. The United Nations are targeting misinformation campaigns which expose our staff to significant risks. All our work is impacted by the current geopolitical and regional tensions. In order to find a sustainable solution to these challenges, we strongly believe that all channels of communication needed to be kept open with the concerned member states. UNOWAS remains committed to support efforts by ECOWAS and other partners, such as the AU, to foster dialogue and engagement with transitional countries for a return to constitutional order. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, recent reports of security breaches in Guinea-Bissau and Sierra Leone, which were both on trajectory of consolidation of peace, illustrate the fragile nature of peace in many countries in the sub-region. The events are also a reminder of the imperious necessity to build consensus around key political and security issues through regular and inclusive dialogue. More efforts are also required to address economic issues, such as the inequitable distribution of resources, in unemployment, especially among the youth, and other forms of socio-economic marginalization of the vulnerable, including women. Mesdames et Messieurs, au moment où nous vous parlons, la violence met en danger non seulement la vie des enfants en Afrique de l'Ouest et du Sahel, mais aussi l'éducation de toute une génération d'enfants. Des milliers d'écoles ont été fermées, attaquées par les groupes armés ou utilisées par les forces de défense, perturbant l'éducation des millions de futurs citoyens actifs, des décideurs potentiels, qui se retrouveront sans les capacités nécessaires pour participer de manière productive aux institutions dans leur pays. Il est donc urgent d'agir. Si nous n'investissions pas maintenant dans des écoles sûres, nous devrons investir pour faire face aux conséquences d'une telle nation qui générera encore plus d'instabilité et de conflits. Il est crucial d'introduire des réformes dans l'éducation et la formation professionnelle pour garantir l'adéquation entre les savoirs et les marchés du travail. Les Nations Unies encouragent les efforts en cours dans plusieurs pays pour l'accès équitable à une éducation de qualité. En outre, allouer un budget national à la mise en œuvre des plans d'action nationaux sur les femmes, la paix et la sécurité adoptés par tous les États membres de la CEDEAO est essentiel pour la consolidation de la paix dans la région. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the peaceful conduct of elections in Liberia and the exemplary attitude of the incumbent administration are proof that constitutional transfer of power along constitutional requirements indeed remain the norm in the region. I would like to congratulate President George Weah and the people of Liberia for helping the cause of democracy in such a dignified fashion. Mr. President, the organization of an inclusive, credible, and peaceful process under your leadership and your decision to play by the rules to the very end confirm your status as a democrat and statesman. Excelências, minhas senhoras e meus senhores. Para terminar, desejo a esta Assembleia frutuosas deliberações durante a presente sessão. Aproveito a oportunidade de estarmos no fim do presente ano e permitam-me, excelências, chefe de Estado e de Governo, desejar a todos vós e aos povos da sub-região um Feliz Natal e um próspero Ano Novo de 2024. Muito obrigado pela atenção dispensada.
We thank His Excellency, the Special Representative, for his kind remarks. J'ai maintenant le plaisir d'inviter l'honorable Bankole Adeyeye, commissaire aux affaires politiques et à la paix et la sécurité de la Commission de l'Union africaine, à prononcer le message de Son Excellence Moussa Faki, président de la Commission de l'Union africaine. Merci.
Your Excellency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Excellencies, distinguished ECOWAS Heads of State and Government, Excellency, President of the ECOWAS Commission, the Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of His Excellency Moussa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, I'm very pleased to express sincere gratitude to the ECOWAS Commission for inviting your union to address this important 64th ordinary session of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government. The Chairperson of the Commission salutes the strong, bold, and courageous leadership of the Chair of the ECOWAS Authority, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Excellencies, you will agree with us in the African Union that the entire continent, the governance, peace, and security landscape, including West Africa, is going through a concerning period. The threats are pervasive and precarious. But the resolute determination of your leadership collectively inspires us. The security, the political challenges engulf the 5 regions of the Union. They adversely affect food security, economic fabric, and the climate-related risk. These challenges are beginning to have a bearing, distressingly, on the regional integration agenda